A lone dragonfly flies with the pale orange sky as its backdrop. I stare mindlessly at the sky as it fades into the color of the sunset, and I feel like crying. Already. It was Yashio-kun who first recommended that I lie down on the runway when I first visited the club. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the opportunity until now. But with summer ending, I'm the only one at the old airport, the first since I joined the robot club. It kind of feels like I'm monopolizing the whole place. And so the first thing I did was lie down on the runway and gaze at the sky. I feel like crying, or like this is where I would cry. That sad feeling grabbing at my chest never surfaces. No loneliness, no happiness, no emotions. My mind is blank. I long since decided to blame it all on karate. It's the reason I don't feel anything at times like this. Why? I'm still like that even now. It's not like my emotions usually disappear from me. Heck, I've been crying almost non-stop since joining the robot club. It's too scary. Or I can't do it. Or I'm too embarrassed. It's been hard. I can't help but sigh. The robot club members are all unique and quirky people. I don't dislike them at all. But a gust of wind nearly flips my skirt, so I raise myself up. My eyes wander. From the runway, the apron where the robot club hangar is located is a little raised, but I can still see it. Right beside the hangar, lying there covered with a sheet, the massive Model 1-kun. The sad robot that became obsolete after failing to produce results. Don't talk about him like that. It's kind of like me. Don't talk about yourself like that. I think back on when our sponsor made me Model 1-kun's pilot. I cried and cried and said no, so I never ended up piloting it. The reason I said no was because I was scared. It was the fear I had toward a robot much larger than me. Fear. Despite not being able to love robots, I ended up staying in the robot club. No, it's not that I can't love robots. It's that I couldn't get over my fears, even after spending all of my summer break trying to. I still carry with me the notion that robots are terrifying. I joined the robot club as a replacement for karate. It was an in-the-moment decision. But robots, the robot club, they can't replace karate for me. I was able to continue practicing karate because no matter how weak I was, I loved it. But the robot club, robots? It's September and the new school semester is in swing. The days of the club focusing solely on robots are over. What are people saying? My counselor said attending college would be hard for me. I did terrible that last task before summer. I'm gonna go ahead and say that typo was intentional. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that that typo was on purpose to make her it seemed like she made a typo. Just in this. Let's say that. Fair. Test. Oh yeah, okay, I'm dumb. I may have read one more. Yeah, yes, literally yes. Lots of students at the dojo thinking about my brother's schooling. I should get a job instead of going to college. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah, true. Say like this can be playing all the time. There's only half a year left to graduation. True. I love his. They're so inspirational. I'm saddened about the riots still going on in America. Oh, okay. He had to make it real. I pray that it will end soon and Robo 1 worlds will be held. I won't say robots can save the world, but we can pray to stop to stop fighting over robots. That's something I and everyone can do. So, ooh, that's exciting. I know he told me not to use his name since he'd be exposed, so I'm gonna call him #1 sassy younger male robot club member S-kun on Twitter. I want him to change his handle to that. That's so funny. It's September and the new student, did I read that? I think I already read that. I heard that Akio and Subaru are hashing out the details of Model 2's design, but me, the operator, Juna, the sub-operator and mocap leader, and Frau, the programmer, have nothing to do, as usual. People are still theorizing about Gun Barrel's final episode, but the commotion is dying down. A solar disturbance caused by the sun's irregular activity and equal to the crash of 15 is going to happen soon. The effects of the solar disturbance that hit the west coast of the US have started to spread to other nations. But it hasn't been nearly as bad as the crash of 15. Outside of the riots that have reduced America to mush, the other countries got away with only a few days of confusion. In the end, the stuff written in the Kimijima reports has been BS. Looks like he was just a conspiracy theory nutjob. Yeah, totally. Definitely not worth listening to. The police are still investigating the deaths of the KB cheaters, but there's been no progress on that end. So, while there's still some unsolved mysteries, I can at last enjoy some peaceful kill ballad time. Or so I had hoped. I find myself at the beach today for some reason. Hold on, I want to get this guy's... Oh, I can't. I wanted to get his, like, tag. I can't pull up my phone. I'm holding a gun toward the ocean. Oh, is it the matchlock gun? It's an old... Yeah! It's an old matchlock gun in good condition. So he's going for the triggers. I'm gonna say, like, maybe get past pictures of the rocket launches, maybe, or maybe they could be, like, launch tiny rockets, like little model rockets, maybe. That would count. It's less than a meter long. There's got to be a way. There's got to happen. I support it with my left arm while I place my right index finger on the trigger. The Space Candy president places a lit up rope between the fire tongs, kind of like a gun lock of the gun. Lit up rope between the fire. What the hell is a fire tong? Its burning sounds reach my ears. Yeah, you gotta have impact or whatever. This freaking weirdo. At this point, the gun is about to make contact with my cheek. If I hold it in even closer, wouldn't the spark smash against my face when I pull the trigger? I'm wearing safety goggles, but it's still scary. Did he get his parents' permission? Who signed off on this? Ugh, here goes nothing. When I pull the trigger, the fire tongs drop down to the pan and light the gunpowder. The bullet, I mean, I guess it's just like the mechanics of a matchlock gun. I know nothing about matchlock guns, so maybe this is just basic terminology. The bullet explodes out of the barrel. I can't withstand the recoil and end up falling to my butt. The sharp scent of gunpowder stings my nose. God, this freaking guy. He's a child! I give the gun back to the president. That's ridiculous. It's not that I care about matchlocks. I'm only doing this because of the stupid trigger for Kimijima report number 4. One of the triggers required me to fire a matchlock gun. I figured it'd be impossible, but then I heard the president here was a member of the Gun Festival promo committee. When I talked to him, he went out of his way to receive permission from the police to let me shoot a gun. Our beloved Space Candy president is truly something else. That's for sure. As for the gun, I don't ever want to shoot it again. I swear, if she doesn't pop in from the top this time, I'm gonna be disappointed. Oh, I missed that. After stepping away from the president and promo committee members who brought the gun, I summon Irie. I don't know, she's coming from the side. I just want her to like drop in from the sky. Like freaking Sephiroth just. Alright. Don't need the weather report. I'm surprised he started with the gun one. Like, I would have started with the one that seems literally impossible. Like, unless you have a time machine. Maybe Irie is the one checking to see if I've completed the triggers. As I completed each one, I began to suspect as much. I think the reason I get cut some slack at times is because Irie, this odd but amazing little AI, is calling the shots. In fact, there was this one trigger. Upload photo. Oh, did they cheese that one? Upload photos of rocket launches from the 4 suggested viewing points on Tanegashima to Iruo. But I was able to activate the trigger by uploading photos someone else took. That's what I thought, yeah. It would have been impossible otherwise. And so I directly asked Irie to fudge a few of the triggers, but she'd say no with a sad look on her face. I asked Frau if she could hack into Irie's program to change her attitude, but she said it'd be too difficult. I guess I at least have to demonstrate some effort in trying to activate the triggers. As long as I do that much, she doesn't sweat the details. Since figuring that out, these things have gotten easier. Oh yeah, that one. I mean, it seems pretty obvious it's one of the robots in the back room, right? Gojiro-kun is one of those things that traumatized Juna. Alright, the matchlock trigger is done. All that's left is to press the activation switch on Gojiro-kun at the robot clinic. I've made no progress on this one. I visited the clinic 3 times in the last half month, but I get turned away thanks to Akio's ban. Damn it, Akio, way to make things difficult. You cut her some slack, you knob. At the TNSC, there are areas accessible to the public and those that are restricted. The large rocket launch pad area has been off limits to outsiders since the last launch 4 years ago. The restricted area is closed off by an imposing gate. There are security guards stationed nearby 24/7. If I tried to sneak in, I'd be sent off to the cops. The microbus we're riding in stops right in front of the gate. As for why we're here, Akio's orders. We met up here on an early Sunday morning, got on this JAXA microbus, and headed for where the H2 replica is. Our driver is the TNSC chief himself, who took his day off just to help out. Talk about getting the VIP treatment. When we get off the bus, the gate is right there. Just past it, we can see half of a mid-sized rocket launch pad that was in use during the NASDA days. Just as I begin to wonder why we've been brought so close to the restricted area, Uncle Senemiya, after parking the bus, heads into the white building to the left of the gate. Akio waves the 3 of us, Frau isn't here, as usual, inside. I love her outfit. I love her outfit. His pants are ridiculous. I suppressed my yawn for the ninth time. Nth time.
スバル君さ、ここ来たことある？俺あるんだよね。宇宙センターって毎日観光客用に観覧ツアーしてるの知ってる？もう十何年も前からやっててさ。ガキの頃俺もそれに参加したわけ。そのツアーにここも含まれてるんだ。中にも入ったことあるよ。
Oh, I have tweeps. Let's look at the tweeps. Also, do we have their tags? I've tagged her, right? Maybe I shouldn't phrase it that way. Let's not phrase it that way. I don't know why his tag is there. I'd rather it be like closer to his head, but you know. Let's check his blood type, you know. Like a normal person does. Yep, this is all cool information. Although, now that I know it's like, there's some information where it's like, if they don't consent to having it, I like that. That's better. No trespassing. Any other tags? I got tags. Alright. Oh, right. Literally the reason I opened the phone. There are tweeps. Alright, let's get going. Oh. Bloodtoon, Rainet, Kakir, Z Gun Bomb. Have you seen any of these anime? Go with that one. For reasons. I decide the timing is now. Anyone? Feel better, Juna. Be happier. God damn it. God, Mom! Alright. The first Osaki office. Despite the name, it was once used to assemble rockets. Now there's a portion of the used H2 rocket on display. Well, it's supposed to be.
知ってますよ、僕だって。ツアー参加したことあるんだ。ええ、あります。悪いですか？いや。
What do you have a problem with that? He's just asking a question. Calm the hell down.
Oh, 相変わらずピリピリしてるね。
Subaru hurries ahead of me. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is like when you ask a question, it's like, do you have a problem with that? It's like, no, I was just asking a question. Juna shakes her head powerlessly. She looks rather under the weather. Come to think of it, she doesn't seem like she's been having much fun lately. Akio loudly calls out to us from the building's entrance. Jeez, Madam President can be so impatient sometimes. I push Juna's back lightly, and we head inside together. Aww. Once I step into the office, I swallow my breath. It's completely different from when I was here on visitor's tour. There are no rockets or figures on display at all. It's almost completely empty. There's so much space. The ceiling feels impossibly high, too. There's a giant crane hanging from up top. It's a type of crane that can move back and forth along a track.
天井クレーンか。あれが使えれば試作2号機の組み立てがかなり楽になりますね。その通り。
Akio stands in front of the three of us and puffs her chest out in victory.
そのためにお父さんじゃなくて所長さんにここを貸してもらえるよう頼んだの。
She didn't have to correct herself.
へえ、貸してもらえるんだ。
I inquisitively turn to Uncle Senomiya, who smiles and nods.
許可が出るまでに少し時間がかかったけれどね。
I suppose this will be the birthplace of Model 2.
もちろん全て自由にというわけにはいかないけれど、天王寺君も来月には戻ってくるだろうし、職員の誰かが監督している限りは問題はないと思うよ。
はい、注目。ここでガンツク2を組み立てる。今回は立たせた状態で組み上げていけるんだよ。すごいよね。たぎってきた。
Here she goes, getting excited all on her own. Even Uncle Senemia is half grimacing and smiling. That really does look like a mix of grimace and smile on his face. It's just like...
ってみんなテンション低いよ。ほら、内側から湧き上がる衝動みたいなものない？元気爆発しない？
別にロボ2号機が完成したわけじゃないしね。
Hasn't even been started.
状況でもありませんから。
まあ、そうだよね。その通りかもね。わかるよ。
Akio begins to triumphantly nod her head for reasons I don't exactly follow.
まだあそこにガンツク2が立った時の光景が思い浮かばないんでしょ？だよね。ガンバムにしろ何にしろ、ロボは大地に立ってからが始まりだもんね。でもご安心を。そこはバッチリ完成予想図を用意してあるから。
完成予想図？
あの人もそれさえ見ればこういうに違いないよ。
Here we go.
見えるぞ。私にもロボが見えるって。みんな色を使って。
Oh. What's she going on about?
そうしたらきっと見えるから。頑張れるがね。
She's saying that if I look through Eero, I'll see gun barrels standing there? I'm excited.
どう？
Yes!
おお、立ってる。AR？
そう。
Juna, looking through her phone droid, steps back in shock. Even though it's only AR, she still seems scared.
モデルはね、キルバラのものを流用したんだよ。カイのアイデア、バッチリうまくできた。
I suppose I did suggest something like this during our meeting over Model 2. That by using AR, we could forego physically making it look like gun barrel.
フラウボーがなんだかんだ文句言いながら作ってくれたんだ。
I want to see it again. I want to see it's like actual... Oh yeah, there he is. Oh god. Stop. Official name. Type Model 2. Nice. There's his face, looking right at us. Ugh. A little creepy, a little lifeless.
ガンツク2が立ってるところに専用の AR マーカーを貼り付けただけ。これで組み立て中でも完成版のガンバレルが見られるみたいな。ガンツク2が完成した暁には手足の動きにはきちんと連動した AR マーカーを用意するつもりだけど、とりあえずってことで。完成したらこれぐらいの高さになるよって直感的にわかるし、寸法は現実の数値を反映させてるの。だから AR だけど高さは8メートルくらいに設定してある。真下に行ったら見上げたりしない限り足しか見えないんだよ。どう？雰囲気は出てるよね。
これは私も驚いたよ。面白いことを考えるものだとね。
あくまで雰囲気だけですがね。
That's rad.
手厳しいね、スバルくん。
そうだよ。
Perhaps because she didn't receive the praise she was looking for, Akio pouted. She got praised by her dad.
いつもクールぶっちゃってそんなにカッコつけたいの？
かっこつけてなんて言いませんよ。
Big to be cool. Love when he talks like that.
それとも何か焦ってるとか？
It's so funny.
だって設計図だってだいぶ大詰めまで来てるじゃん。前の話し合いで保留だった部分もほぼ固まったし、天王寺さんからも追加予算出せそうって連絡来たし。
Huh? Really? That's pretty generous for JAXA. I didn't think we were that big of a deal. Kind of feels like they're overvaluing us or something. Irritated at Akio's words, Subaru shakes his head from side to side.
あの大きさのロボを作るには半年は短すぎるんです。それなのにまだ設計段階でつまずいているわけで、特にずっと懸案になっている駆動システムについては有効な打開策が何もないんですよ。
電動制御式モーターにすべきか油圧式モーターにすべきかだよね。
Just chuck a monopole in there, everything will be
現
fine.
実的には油圧式がベストなんですが、コストがバカ高くなる上に回路の制御だって素人が簡単にできるものじゃない。半年で完成させるためには重機メーカーの専門家でも連れてこないと。
うん、それはうちも分かってる。
This issue was brought up during the meeting with Nison. In other words, they've made no progress since then.
電動制御式だとガンツク1みたいにパワーと電力が足りなくなるのは目に見えてるし。
逆に言えばそれ以外の部分はほぼ決まったわけ。
決まった。ざっと言うと素材は鉄製で決定。これは安くて丈夫だから。あと加工もしやすいし。
デメリットは重量があることです。だからこそ駆動システムが重要になってくるわけで。プログラムは結局コナちゃんやってくれるって？
他にいないもん。なし崩し的にやらせる。
Doesn't that mean it'll still be up in the air? Is she really gonna be okay?
僕も一応プログラムはできますが、僕がやったんじゃきっと半年じゃ終わりません。じゃあ俺にとって一番重要な操縦方法と電源は？
I glance over at Juna to check her expression, but she still looks down in the dumps.
操縦方法は遠隔操縦で確定です。
Excellent. I do a mini fist bump. Fist pump. I just don't want to look death in the eye again.
電源はレー
I ain't
ザ
getting
ー
back in
光
there.
方式プラスバッテリー。
僕がレーザー光方式の電源を販売しているメーカーさんと知り合いでね。だからいわゆるお友達価格で譲ってもらえないかと今交渉しているところだよ。
Way to go, Chief.
CFRP もなんとか手に入れられそう。かなり高いらしいけど、スペースアメ社のスポンサー継続が決まったおかげでなんとか予算内に収まるはず。
配線やらの細かい設計は市販のホビーロボを参考にできるのでかなり簡略化できるかと。もちろん高さも重量も桁違いなのでまんま一緒というわけにはいきませんが。
I see. So the only thing left to decide on is the drive system, huh?
駆動システムのことはできればドクに相談してみたいな。
I don't think that's gonna work out very well.
もののことも含めてさ。
Monodoobly! The monodoobly! That is... Oh god. Stop. I love the monodoobly. So, she hasn't given up on trying to use the monopoles, eh? By the by, I haven't been able to tend to my job of adjusting the antenna because I've been busy in the mornings. In other words, there's probably a bunch of monopoles all over the park by now. I've got no solution for this issue. I feel like someone else would at least, like, you know, just wander by and see one of them. It's only a matter of time before someone else finds out about them.
うちはロボクリニックを
Or I guess maybe some people would like mistake it for dog poop. Kind of looks like glowing. If dog poop and like a black hole mixed together, merged. That's kind of what they look like.
例えばスバルとジュンの2人でドクに話を。
I don't think that's gonna work out either.
そういえばジュン、さっきからずっと浮かない顔してるけど、どうかした？え？
Juna hangs her head low and bites her lip. Maybe there's something she can't say out loud. Now that I think about it, she was trying to say something to me outside earlier. She's been like this all day. Maybe I should have actually bothered to listen to her. Something on her mind?
なになに？言いたいことあったら遠慮せずに何でも言ってよ。ほら、うちらは同じロボ部員、仲間なんだよ。
Juna sighs lightly and slowly lifts her face. She points an inquiring gaze at each of us.
こんな時にこんなところで言うことじゃないのは分かってるんだけど、タイミングなくて、だから言うけど、ごめんね。いきなり謝られても困っちゃうな。何かな？私ロボ部をやめ。
No! Someone's phone droid begins to ring, cutting her off mid-sentence. The sound echoes through the spacious room. I glance at my phone droid, but it's not coming from me. Akio, Subaru, and Uncle Senomiya all check their phone droids, but...
私です。すみません。
Juna apologetically turns her back to us and answers the call.
はい。おじいちゃん。今ちょっと。みんなと大事な話をしてて。
Oh God, what have I done? Go away. That... Oh boy. Alright, that was annoying. Juna's face turns pale.
それ本当？いつ？
What happened? What happened?
わかった。大丈夫。はい。
She eventually ends the call in a daze.
ジュン？何かあったの？
What happened? Juna slowly turns back towards us.
その...
Her face is completely devoid of emotion. It's like her head is completely empty.
藤田のおじいちゃんが倒れたみたい。
Oh no! Everything freezes for a moment. A heavy silence descends upon this large empty room. Part of this is because it took us a moment to recognize who she was talking about. We always just refer to him as...
僕が?
Yes, Doc. Oh no. I get out of the car that Dad was driving and swallow my breath. The last time I came here was 11 years ago. After hearing that Grandpa Fujita had collapsed, my family sent a taxi to take me from the Space Center to the hospital. He hadn't regained consciousness yet, so there wasn't much for me to do. I told my brothers to stay home. Dad and I decided to come here and grab a change of clothes for Grandpa for the time being. I watched Dad's back disappear into the shop while I stand in place, right where I got out of the car. I can't move forward. My knees are shaking. My legs won't move. I'm about to burst into tears. My heart is beating faster than usual. My back starts to uncomfortably sweat. And then, there's a suffocating pressure in my chest. I tell myself to breathe deeply. What were all those years of karate training for? I focus on my stomach. As long as I repeatedly take deep breaths, I can regain my cool. I can't. This can't be happening. It's actually getting harder for me to breathe. It's as if I'm standing at the top of Mount Miyanoradake. No matter how hard I try to breathe, the air doesn't fill my lungs. I hold my hand against my chest and close my eyes in pain. The events of 11 years ago all come flooding back to me. Memories I've been desperately trying to suppress for years. But now, it's as if they wrap themselves around my consciousness. I try to shake away the memories, but they won't leave me alone. They spin around endlessly in my mind. It was a hot summer day. I had just entered elementary school. My teacher and Grandpa Datoku, took me to visit the robot clinic. I was exploring the shop all by myself and wandered into that dark storage room. To this day, I don't remember how I ended up in there. I just remember that it was really quiet and hot inside. There were lots of robots standing next to each other. From a child's perspective, they looked gigantic. Their arms and legs were super thick. Their eyes large and bulging. They were sitting still, but it seemed that they could start moving at any time. It felt like they were watching me with their big eyes. But it wasn't my first time seeing those robots. I'd been to the robot clinic tons of times, and I knew them all too well. Seeing them sit silently in this dark room, they were like completely different robots. I wanted to run out of the room, but before I knew it, I was lost inside of the dark space. I tried calling out Grandpa's name over and over, but nobody came for me. I wandered the dark storage room, half in tears, until I tripped over something and fell hard. This caused me to crash into a robot's foot. And then... Oh. I can definitely see why this would traumatize a child. Oh, good. The robot's eyes and mouth flashed eerily. Let's not. I was thrown into confusion by the suddenness of the voice. I desperately attempted to escape, but that was my undoing. The robot that toppled down on top of me was tremendously heavy. I was only 7, so I was nowhere near strong enough to move it aside. Oh no! This is worse than I thought it was. That's awful. Oh, she's bleeding. The robot repeated itself endlessly before my very eyes, its own eyes flashing as it painfully crushed me. And that also explains why she was afraid of Model 1 falling on her. Oh god, this is awful. I could taste the blood rising in the back of my throat. I wanted to cry, but the pressure on my chest was too much. up! I honestly don't know how long I was under there, but it felt like I was stuck for hours upon hours. Nobody came to rescue me. I was alone with that robot that just kept repeating itself over and over again. Inside my mind, I screamed out that it was no friend of mine, over and over again. Finally, a light shone into the room and I heard other voices, but by then, I'd already given up on being saved. In a hazy state, I recognized my grandpa and some others hurry in. I don't know if I tried to call for help again. The first thing I saw through my distorted, teary vision was Grandpa Fujita's livid expression. I haven't been here since then. I couldn't. I was too scared. Scared of robots and of Grandpa Fujita. Even 11 years later, I remain unable to step foot inside the robot clinic. I squat in the passenger seat until Dad comes back with Grandpa's stuff. Why stomach? Why does stomach? Why? Wait. What a incredibly random tip. Vocabulary bit. The next day, Akio got the call that Doc had woken up. And for some reason, she decided to drag me out to go see him. Just because he's up doesn't mean he's recovered. Plus, we're not customers, not family. Or we're just customers, not family. So I planned on waiting in the lobby until Akio got back. Considering today's a holiday, there aren't many people in the lobby. An old man, probably a patient, is sitting down reading a newspaper. And there's one other person. I would recognize that trepidation anywhere. Juna is sitting down, a heavy expression on her face. As soon as she sees us, she stands up.
Jun, 具合は? ドク、気がついたんでしょ? 朝には、目が覚めたみたい.
Yeah, I always thought it was just a like traumatization by terrifying, creepy robots. No, it was a near-death experience. Wonderful.
それでさっき
Significantly more traumatizing.
集中治療室から病室に移されたって先生がそう言ってた。
ずっとつきっきりだったの？
そんなんじゃ。
For some reason, Juna shakes her head sideways, flustered.
私もついさっき来たところで。どんな様子だった？
She hangs her head.
顔は合わせてないから。え、わざわざ来たのに？あ、そっか。
Akio seems to have remembered. Juna made it clear in the past that she was scared of Doc. I remember when Akio tried to invite Juna along to the robot clinic, and she refused right away. She's here because she's family, but it's still awkward for her to see him face to face.
今は私のお父さんが先生から詳しいお話聞いてて。
アキちゃん、やっぱりさ、今日のところは引き返そうよ。俺たちそこまでドクと親しいわけでもないし、むしろいきなり押しかけたら向こうが驚いちゃうじゃん。分相応ってやつ？俺たちの立場的にあと 2,3 日は様子見るべきだと思うよ。お見舞いに行くにしてもね。
かい、冷たい。
Akio's face balloons.
ドクにはガンツクワンの時に散々お世話になったんだよ。ドクがいなかったら歩くことすらできなかったんだから。それにこれからもたくさんアドバイスしてもらいたいの。だからそういう冷たいこと言っちゃダメ。ジュンだっていつまでも逃げてたらよくないよ。このまま顔合わせないつもり？でもじゃない。病室に移されたなら面会もできるってことだろうし、 とにかくみんなで病室まで行こう。
Akio grabs Juna's hand, then mine, and begins to drag us along.
あきほちゃん待って。せめて顔だけでも見て無事でよかったって声かけたいの。ジュンはどう？私は。
Juna struggles to find her words. Granted, it doesn't look like Akio ever planned on actually hearing her response.
とにかく行こう。
She declares and stomps along. I could protest, but I don't want to make a scene in a hospital. I guess I have no choice. I'll poke my head in for a second and leave. That'll be enough to shut Akio up.
あきほちゃん。ちなみに、そっちは診察室なんかがある方で。
Juna points in the opposite direction of where Akio is walking.
病室があるのは上の階なんだけど。
Akio abruptly stops.
認めたくないものだな。若さゆえの過ちというものを。
いや、認めなよ。
Doc's room is in the very back of the third floor. A piece of paper with the name Fujita is written on it is attached to the wall by the door. Through the frosted glass, I can see that the lights are on inside. I hope it's just blasting that rock music. Just like the walls are just really soundproof, but his room is just... That'd be hilarious.
とりあえずそのブルーレイしまって。
BD? Much to my bewilderment, Akio has pulled a gun barrel BD from her bag.
だってこれお見舞い品。ガンバレルの51話が収録されてるの。この話を見るとね、うちすっごく元気が湧いてくるんだ。だから毒にも。
いいからしまいなって。
Oh boy. Akio pouts as she shoves the package back in her bag. Juna's face is turning blue. She's clearly pushing herself too hard.
シュン、ごめん。やっぱり戻る？
Akio has noticed Juna's current condition and seems to have backed off a bit, hence giving her the option to leave. But unexpectedly, Juna shakes her head from side to side.
とにかく
Oh.
一度顔だけ出さなきゃ。孫娘なんだし。ジュン。
Juna takes a step forward, her expression stiff. She stands in front of the door. She gazes at us as if asking for permission to knock. Akio silently nods. I believe in you! Juna takes a deep breath and knocks.
Hi.
Much to our surprise, a woman's voice responds. It must be the nurse. Juna hesitates and turns to us, unsure of what to do.
とりあえず名乗って。私、おじいちゃん、藤田のおじいちゃんの、娘じゃなくて、孫のジュンナで、
Why would she freeze up here? Why wouldn't she? She's so nervous. At this point, we look like a bunch of suspicious weirdos. There's no response from the inside the room. Maybe they didn't hear us? Juna seems to have the same idea, so she grabs the handle of the sliding door and slightly opens it. Oh. It's Doc. And I can hear him perfectly clear. Juna is frozen with her hand still on the handle. I can sense somebody moving around inside the room. The door slides open and the nurse appears.
ごめんなさい。藤田さんまだ面会できる状態じゃないの。 せっかく来てくれて申し訳ないんだけど、今日のところはお引き取りしてもらってもいいかしら。
はい。
Juna bows slightly, her head still hanging, and walks back the way we came. Akio stares at the door, dissatisfied. I push her back lightly, and she finally follows Juna after sighing. The three of us return to the lobby, Akio agitated and Juna down in the dumps. There we come across Subaru. He must have just gotten here.
もうお見舞いは済んだんですか？スバル君もわざわざ来たの？部長に呼ばれたんですよ。常識的にまだ早いだろうとは言ったんですが。
You're exactly right, friendo.
どうかしたんですか？とりあえずだよ。
Once outside, we explain the situation to Subaru.
面会謝絶。
And there's Tweeps.
いや、
The Tweeps. Your respect for the elderly day. Respect those who respect their elders. Grandpas and grandmas will be very happy just seeing your faces. The perfect gift would be to offer them a massage. Now, let's put it into action. A promise from Mr. Pleiades. You heard it here, folks. Mr. Pleiades wants to massage your grandmas. I don't make these things up.
あまり病状が良くないのかもしれませんね。
まさかジュンの面会まで断るなんて。てっきりドクはジュンに会いたいものだとばっかり思ってたのにな。
Aki-chan, you shouldn't say that sort of stuff in front of her.
別にジュンちゃんだから拒絶したわけでもないでしょ。
Though I guess it kind of sounded like he did, but I digress.
しばらくしてドクの体調が落ち着いたら改めてお見舞いに来ればいいさ。その時には会ってくれるって。大徳先輩、ドクはどうして倒れたんですか？病状は？大徳先輩？
Subaru's question brings Juna back to her senses, and she hastily answers.
詳しくはお父さんが話を聞いてて、それで少しだけ私が聞かされたのは狭心症なんだって。もしかしたら手術が必要かもって。手術するとなると島にある病院じゃ無理とか。
となるとしばらくロボクリニックは休業ですかね。
さあどうかな。こんなことを今言うのは不謹慎かもしれないけど、ガンツク2を作る上でロボクリニックが使えなくなるのはかなり痛いかも。なんだかんだでドクは融通を聞かせてくれたから、こっちの無茶なお願いでも聞いてくれたし。
でも部長、この前出禁になったじゃないですか。
それは今言うことじゃないでしょ。
2号機を作ること、ドクには反対されたんですよね。だったらどっちにしろロボクリニックは使えなかった。これを機会に他の方法を検討すべきだと思います。そもそもアキちゃんいつもぼやいてたじゃん。ドクは偏屈じいさんだとか金にがめついとかって。
だからジュンがいる前でそういうことを今言わないでよ。別に私は全然平気ってさっきまであんな辛そうな顔してたのに。本当に平気だから。
Juna's smile is so helpless that I can feel my heart shatter into pieces. Me too!
藤田のおじいちゃんと
I need to pick those up later.
疎遠だったし。で、私何言ってるんだろう。
Juna's surprised by her own words and shuts herself completely down. Silence. An awkward silence fills the air. But then Akio breaks through it all.
うちね、 ドクのアドバイスにはすごく助けられたんだよ。
Akio grabs Juna's hand and speaks to her.
偏屈だけど腕は確かなの。それにね、ドクほどロボットを作ることに真摯に向き合ってる人はいないと思う。うちもびっくりしたもん。ガンツクワンへの入れ込み方とか。お姉ちゃんが設計してロボ部で作ってきたロボにそこまでまっすぐ向き合ってくれてるんだって本当に嬉しかった。だからドクには早く良くなってまたロボクリニックを再開してほしいの。ガンツク2のことは置いといたとしてもね。
アキちゃんはそれでもできんだけどね。
こんにゃろ
Akio ruffles up my hair. Curse her, she did it again.
ー。いちいち現実を突きつけないで。
I desperately escaped from Akio's violent nasal breath and assaulting hands. I'm curious about Juna, though. She said that they're estranged, but she looks like she's really hurting from all this. It's Michi.
おお、行ってきたぜ。
His response is calm and collected as he digs into his pork cutlet lunch. I can't help but mutter his words, forgetting them in the faculty room.
はっきり言う。気に食わんな。
いいか、瀬宮妹。覚えとけ。情報の伝達速度ってもんは、この高度情報化社会になったところでちっとも変わらねえ。これ、豆知識な。
Pro tips with Michi.
意味わかんないよ。
お前ら、毒が倒れたこと知ってたくせによ。先生に一言も報告なかったろうが。おかげで昨日になっちまったんだ。結局のところ、人災ってことだな。ヒューマンエラー。わかるか？
I really don't. Is he telling me that he's sulking because he was left out? This is ridiculous.
ミッチーに教えなかったのはわざとだよ。だってミッチー、ロボクリニックは出禁になってるじゃん。
2 years ago, when I first enrolled here, Michi also came on as a teacher. I joined the robot club, and Michi became its advisor. It was then that my senpai told Kai and I with pale expressions on their faces. The robot club code of conduct. Quite simply, do not let Michi anywhere near the robot clinic. Rule number 1, control this man. Keep him out of trouble. Apparently Doc and Michi are on hyper bad terms. When Michi was the first gen president of the club, he had a huge falling out with Doc and got banned. If we put those two face to face, the robot clinic would turn into a bloodbath. We tried so hard to follow the rules of our senpai laid it down for us.
まさかミッチー、毒が弱ってるのにつけ込んで、ここぞとばかりに日頃の恨みを晴らしに行ったとか？最低。
Oh my god.
うちは毒に味方させてもらうからね。悪は正義によって滅ぼされちゃえばいいんだ。
おいおい、散々な言われようだな。まあ、あながち間違っちゃいねえが。あとな、おい、先生のことをミッチーと呼ぶな。何度言えばわかるんだ。
だってミッチーだって瀬宮妹って呼ぶじゃん。
たく、そもそもロボクリを出禁になったのだってな。先生には何の落ち度もねえんだぞ。
いやいや、だってミッチーがロボクリニックの裏手に積まれてるスクラップをガラクタって呼んだから、ドクが怒って喧嘩になったんでしょ。
はあ？
Michi dramatically rolls his eyes and points his rice-covered chopsticks at me. Ew.
いいか、そんなデタラメ言ったやつを今すぐここに連れてこい。先生が説教してやる。
ロボ部に代々受け継がれてきた話だもん。
デタラメだっつってんだ。
Michi plops a sour plum into his mouth and a bummed-out expression on his face.
ガラクタをガラクタって呼んだってどこは切れたりしねえよ。これ豆な。先生が出禁になったのは 開かずの倉庫に偶然入っちまったせいだ。
え、そうなの？
Isn't that where June got lost when she was a kid?
そこロボットがたくさん並んでた？
なんつうかな、昭和っぽいっていうのか。ブリキのロボットのおもちゃ知ってるか？あんなデザインでな、薄暗い倉庫の中に10体近くも並んで怒りかぶってやがった。
So, it really is the same place June got lost in.
で、わざと忍び込んだわけじゃねえのに、毒のやつすんげえ切れ方してな。以来できんさ。先生はちゃんと謝ったし、恋でもねえって何度も説明したんだぜ。なのにあのじいさん、全く聞く耳を持ちゃしなかった。本当に偏屈だよ。
He literally spits out a plum seed after spitting out his words. Gross. At least cover your mouth, jeez.
でも犬猿の中なのは本当なんだよね。なのに病院行って大丈夫だったの？面倒を起こさなかった？
I can't resist asking, almost like I'm Michi's guardian or something. Plus, I'm annoyed that Michi got to see him, yet June and I didn't. I mean, it's not like this is a competition, but still.
あのな、先生を何だと思ってんだ。病院で暴れるようなバカが教師やれるわけねえだろ。美容室には勝手に入ったから。
あのね、ミッチーは毒に嫌われて当然だなって今はっきり思ったよ。うちなら絶対に嫌うもん。
勢いってもんは必要だろうが、これも豆だ、覚えとけ。
嫌です。っていうか、そんなんで会話成立したの？
当たり前だろうが。
いまいち信じられないな。何話した？
Michi lets out a short sigh and looks into the distance. The distance being the final piece of pork cutlet covered in sauce.
あのじいさん、数年ぶりに会ったっつうのに、先生に向かって怒鳴ることすらしやしねえ。拍子抜けしちまったさ、まったく。顔を合わせた最初の一声が、お前か、だもんな。正直、あんなに弱気な毒を見たのは初めてでな。先生少し涙が出しまった。
Well, he is sick. He probably doesn't have the energy to yell.
だから言ってやったわけだ。惜しい人を亡くしました。でな。
He's not dead. That's not funny.
当然首でも絞められる勢いで襲われるかと思ったんだがよ。ただ窓の外を見てるだけで何も言い返してこねえ。あげくにこんなこと言いやがった。
店は畳もうと思ってる。これが潮時さ。
おいおい、毒ともあろう人が冗談きついぜ。昔あんた言ってたじゃねえか。ロボットは人間の友達だ。ロボクリニックはその友達を治療できる場所、友達を作れる場所にしたいって。そんな場所にできたのか？できてねえのに何店を畳もうとしてんのさ。
ロボットは友達か。そんな風に思ってたこともあったな。大昔の話だがよ。ただの思い上がりだったってだけさ。
何それ？
Robots are humanity's friends. I never thought those words would ever come out of Doc's mouth. I never even knew that was how he felt. Is he going to close the robot clinic?
ねえ、ミッチー。毒を元気づけるにはどうしたらいいのかな。
先生には思いつかねえよ。
He said, a dash of regret in his voice. Michi tosses the last piece of pork cutlet into his mouth. And almost dies because of it. And he nearly chokes on it. I repeat the same combo against my CPU opponent over and over again. The key to becoming stronger at fighting games is repetition. That way you can minimize input errors. This strat can take you pretty far up the leaderboards. I'm ranked 2nd worldwide, but even then I still do this, otherwise I wouldn't be able to maintain my rank. My classmates have become increasingly panicked about studying for entrance exams. The plebs. Me, well, instead of attending the exam prep class, I'm leaning against the giant foot of Model 1 and practicing KB. Don't get me wrong, I am a little panicked. I'm gonna end up unemployed at this rate. But compared to my mentality before summer break, I'm a bit more optimistic now. Okay, maybe optimistic is the wrong word. It's more like I've given up. Kind of the opposite of
だ
optimistic.
からね、手術するのが一番いいってお医者さんも言ってるんだけど。
Akio's voice rings out from behind where I'm sitting. Weeps! Robots are friends, huh? Robots are friends, not wait, what? Ow. Ow. AI friendship. Akio's voice rings out from behind me where I'm sitting. She's been talking about the details of Doc's condition after hearing them from Michi. All the while crawling under Model 1 to continue her work on it. That would terrify me, like getting under that thing. I could not do that. Thing is gonna kill me any second. She said something about wanting to mess with the wiring.
ドクったら手術はしたくないって言ってるんだって。全然元気なくて手術するのもしんどいって弱気なこと言ってるみたい。
I'll just chip at him bit by bit. Akio's holding true to her words. Plus, Model 2's assembly hasn't started yet, so she might actually be bored.
このままじゃ手遅れになっちゃうかもしれない。だから誰でもいいからドクを説得できる人はいないかってお医者さんも困ってるって。
あ、そう。
聞いてないでしょ、カイ。
Akio crawls out from beneath the robot. Still lying face down on the ground, she looks up at me and glares. I concede, stand up, and reach down for her.
聞いてますよと。
I take her hand and pull her out. It's sticky with oil.
うわ、これじゃ切るバラできないじゃないか。こういう罠はやめてくれないかな、アキちゃん。
There's no running water at the airport, so this is gonna suck. I left some wet towelettes at the hangar for times like this. Wonder if there are any left.
油まみれの手は勲章なんだよ。バイ、アキホセノミヤ。
はいはい、ご託はいいよ。
カイはドクのこと心配じゃないの？
それと油まみれの手は関係ないでしょう。
Wet towelette, where art thou? I find some on top of the desk and begin to wipe my hand off, especially my fingertips. Since KB uses a touchscreen, the condition of my fingertips has a major effect on my performance.
と、電話だ。はい。
Oh.
湖協定の件だけど。
Passion Accord. No! Oh, it's Mizuka-san. I asked her to look into Doc for me. Yeah, that's right. I put myself through the food-geddon that was the passion fruit bun.
今からそっち行くよ。5分で着く。
はいよ。
The Passion Accord.
誰から？
I mean, really, if anyone says he doesn't do anything for anyone, he eats those buns. That's torture. Akio comes walking into the hangar while drinking a skull.
いや、なんで？
Speaking of,
だって今日も
forgot that was there.
病院にお見舞いに行ってるわけでもないみたいだし、ドクが倒れて結構参ってるみたいだったでしょ。心配なんだ。
だからって俺のところに電話はかかってこないでしょ。まあ見かけたら声かけとくよ。
ってどこか行くの？
ちょっと水香さんの店まで何か買ってこようか。
I love this tune, I really do.
じゃあ新しいスコール
I need to get this on my phone. She smiles and chugs the rest of her drink. Oh, it's just every image with this poor girl in it makes me want to freaking cry. Why are you? When I arrive at the store, Juna is sitting on the bench out front. She has a blank expression on her face and a bottle of mineral water in her hands. When she notices me, she looks down as if I'm some sort of bad luck. I mean, no comment.
純ちゃん、こんなところにいるなんて珍しいね。
その部活行かなくてごめんなさい。
別に謝ることなんてないって。俺だって最近はサボってるしね。ちなみに部員が増える前まではこれでも皆勤賞だったんだよってアピールしとく。
She clearly doesn't care.
アキちゃんが心配してたよ。最近純ちゃんが元気ないみたいだから。ドクのところには行った？
Juna lightly shakes her head sideways in response. I guess she hasn't seen him face to face yet.
病院行く勇気がなくて落ち込んでるってところ？別に気にしなくていいんじゃない？10年以上疎遠だった親戚と今さら仲良くするのも難しいでしょ。
そうじゃないや。
She smiles sadly and once again shakes her head, but this time she's looking up.
藤田のおじいちゃんに
It's still
申し訳
sad.
ないなって思うけど、そのことはそこまで引きずってるわけじゃなくて。
じゃあこの前宇宙センターで俺たちに言いかけたことが関係してる？
うん、当たり。
Juna stares lifelessly at the water, rocking to and fro inside the bottle in her hand.
私ロボ部やめようかなって思ってて。
おっと、そうきたか。
I didn't see that coming.
でね、思ったの。私って空っぽだなって。何やってもダメだし、そんな風にいろいろ考えてたらだんだん落ち込んできちゃって。はあ、
I've never empathized more with a fictional character than I am right now. That's it. They put me in the game. No, he's hurt pretty badly. But what can I do to help? What I do know is that it'd be a pain if she quit the club. This selfish bastard. Juna has a role to fill now. She exists for my convenience. We're short-handed and out of time as it is. If somebody dropped out now, it'd be a huge blow to Akiho.
弱ったな。とりあえずさ、毒に関するとっておきの情報に興味あるなら中に入りなよ。
Juna looks dumbfounded. To be fair, that was kind of a non sequitur, but, you know, no surprise.
種子島随一の情報屋さんがここにはいるんだよ。知ってた？
Is he allowed to tell people that? Tanegashima's #1 information broker stares me down as I enter her shop because I'm not supposed to tell people that. I would
な
assume.
んで俺は睨まれているのやら。今日もお綺麗な水香さん。
カイは男なのに口は軽いみたいだって数秒前に気づかされたところなのさ。あんまりベラベラ喋るんじゃないってことだよ。私の信用に関わるんだ。
いや、つい。
Juna then enters the shop with a concerned look on her face.
いらっしゃい。
Juna quickly bows. Mizuka-san's gentle smile toward Juna is a complete 180 compared to her attitude towards me.
で、水香さん、情報手に入ったんでしょ?
I grab a bottle of fruit sour melon from the beverage corner and place some coins on the counter to buy it.
開かずの倉庫のこと。
Forbidden storage space. That's right. What I really wanted was info on the forbidden storage space inside the robot clinic. The very same place that Juna wandered into and experienced her trauma. I only recently heard from Akio that Michi also wandered in once, which is why he got banned from the store. I mean, it makes sense that he's looking for it. Like, that is the last trigger. So, for number 4? Yeah. In terms of the timeline, Juna went in 11 years ago, and Michi went in 8 years ago. Why is this place so important to me, you ask? Well, because you gotta find the robot. So I have to push the power button of a robot in there in order to activate a trigger for Kimijima report number 4.
そもそも18年前ロボクリニックができた時、あの店は今ほど怪しい雰囲気じゃなかった。
That's right. On the sign it says, since 2001. 18 years ago. The same year that Juna and I were born.
売ってるのはロボットのおもちゃとかラジコンとか、そういうものがほとんどだったんだ。
おもちゃ屋さんだったってこと？
おもちゃ屋にしては売ってるもののジャンルは偏りすぎてたけどね。ま、ドクは元ナスダの技術者だったわけだからさ。その腕を見込んで、ホビーロボやらラジコンやらが趣味の大人連中も常連客にはいたみたいだけど。
What if Michi, when he went into the forbidden storage room, what if he didn't just wander in empty-brainedly, but instead was setting up the trigger because Michi is Kokimijima? I'm telling you, it's the truth. That is the twist. I'm calling it now. I called it before. It's been called. Michi is Kokimijima. He would have been like, what, 15? I don't know. You'd have been in high school. Ridiculous. There were a lot of adults into hobby robots and art. Oh, no, I got caught off guard by my incredible theory.
あくまで最初は子供のために作った店だ。
So dumb.
店先には等身大のロボットが何台も置かれてね。
Life-size robots? Those must be the bots in the forbidden storage space.
週末にもなれば島のあちこちから子供たちが集まってきてたもんさ。そんな子供たちをロボットはお出迎えするんだ。ちゃんと喋ったんだよ。すごいだろ。実際私も何度か遊びに行ったことあるしね。ほんと子供ばっかりだった。遊びに来た子供はさ、ロボットに夢中だったよ。だってそうだろ。こっちが声をかけたら目とか口とかピカピカ光らせて。
Yeah, I'm starting to think that
返してきてくれるんだから。
Doc's whole "you idiot, what have you done?" I think he was talking to the robot. And I think she thinks he was talking to her, which makes sense. But I think he was talking to the robot.
そのロボ子守までしてくれるわけ？そんな高性能なの？
I was just so shocked that one of his like kid-friendly robots was hurting his granddaughter.
なわけないだろ。
Maybe, I don't know.
一歩も歩かずに腕だけくるくる回すだけのロボとか、手に持ってるトランペットを吹いたふりをするロボとか、そんな子供騙しのものばっかりだったよ。でも子供の私らからすりゃそれで十分じゃないか。そうだろ？
That is pretty cool. I suppose so.
でも信じられないな。あの偏屈なドクが子供相手に店をやってたなんて。
私だって驚いたさ。でもね、思い出したんだよ。小さい頃ロボクリニックに遊びに行った時、確かにドクは私ら子供がはしゃいでロボットと遊んでる姿を見てニコニコ笑ってたなーって。
Doc smiling? I'm actually like tearing up a little bit. This is pretty sweet. I'd love to see like younger smiling Doc. That would be awesome. I try to draw up a picture in my head, but it's literally impossible.
その当時、ドクはよくこう話してたらしいよ。 ロボットは人間の友達だってね。
友達。
Juna jolts as she whispers the word.
そのロボってさ、ドクが全部自分で作ったのかな？
相沢二郎博士、知ってるかい？
Jiro Aizawa. I feel like we've heard that name before, but I don't remember where. Jiro Aizawa. Juna and I face each other. Can't say I've ever heard of him. Okay, maybe not.
ロボット博士って呼ばれてた人さ。
It
日本でロ
really
ボッ
does
トの
sound
第一人者
familiar.
って言えば誰を思い浮かべる？はい、かい。
そりゃあ漫画家の。
はいブー。間違い。
I didn't even say their name yet.
じゃああんた。
Mizuka-san points at Juna.
アシモフ？
Jap? I don't think Isaac Asimov
そ
was
れも
Japanese.
ブー。
Asimov?
アシモフって誰？
作家だろ？
She's talking about Isaac
あなが
Asimov?
ち間違いじゃないけど、日本のって限定だからブーだ。
Yeah, okay. I was like, he wasn't Japanese.
じゃなくて、等身大ロボットの。
そっちかい。どっちみちブー。
Huh. Mizuka-san lowers her shoulders in disappointment.
ま、かくいう私もつい昨日知ったわけだけど。相沢博士は今から半世紀以上も前にロボットを作ってた人でね。そのロボットはさ、昭和のブリキのおもちゃみたいな外見なんだけど、愛嬌のある動きと声が特徴で相沢ロボットって言われてた。大阪万博ってあったろ、1970年の。そこでも出展されたくらいさ。
Huh, I had no clue.
ドクはその相沢博士の最後の弟子みたいなもんらしくてね。博士のところに若い頃に押しかけていろいろ教えてもらったんだとさ。ロボクリニックができた時、店先で子供たちを出迎えてたのは、そんなドクが相沢ロボットを参考に作ったロボットだよ。全部で9体。今はロボクリニックの倉庫で眠ってる。
そのロボットたちって名前ついてなかった？
Looking for Gojiro-kun.
名前？
そう、人間と似たような名前っていうかさ、例えばゴジロウくんとか、そんな名前を聞いた覚えは。
ああ、確かにそんなような名前がついてたよ。ゴジロウだかガジロウだかってさ、詳しくはよく覚えちゃいないけどね。
Great. That's pretty much confirmation that Gojiro-kun is one of the robots in the forbidden storage space.
名前を特定する手段はある？
さあね。
そこ重要
I
な
mean, if they're only 9, you could like turn them all on. You know?
どこに直接聞
One of
け
them
ばいい
has
じ
to
ゃ
be
ないか。
Gojiro-kun.
だって怒られそうじゃん。
I can sense that I shouldn't go there with Doc. You don't say.
そもそも名前がそんなに重要？
いや、名は体を表すって言うし。
カイ、何企んでんだい？
別に。
I also can't bring up the Kimijima reports with Mizuka-san. God, this is all such a pain.
いいですか？
Always. Juna hesitantly opens her mouth.
藤田のおじいちゃんは昔はそんな風に子供相手にお店をやっていたのに、どうしてそれをやめちゃったんでしょうか。
Mizuka-san sighs and looks Juna straight in the eyes.
それはあんたが一番よくわかってんじゃないのかい？
私？
どんな形にせよ、事故が起きたとなりゃロボを店先には出しておけないだろう。
事故って純ちゃんが開かずの倉庫に迷い込んでロボを壊しちゃったこと？
Is that really something you'd call an accident? From what Juna told me, one of the robots broke, but...
そ
Yeah, he doesn't know the whole dealio.
私失礼します。
Juna abruptly bows. She then exits the store.
どういうこと？
本人から聞いたんだろ？
倉庫に迷い込んでロボ壊してドクに怒られたってことぐらいだよ、聞いたのは。
Mizuka-san stares at the automatic door that Juna exited from, a listless expression on her face.
あの子、その時結構な怪我をしたんだよ。
I had no idea.
で、その事故が噂になっちゃってね。子供たちの親からしてみりゃ、自分の子供も怪我させられちゃたまんないって思うだろ、普通。それ以来、ロボクリニックを訪れる子供たちはガクンと減っちまったのさ。それに、ドク自身も思うところがあったんじゃないの？少なくとも子供相手の商売はその事故の前後でぱったりやめちゃったって話さ。
なるほどね。
What Doc told Michi.
ただの思い上がりだっただけさ。
Now, what should my next move be? For now, I give my thanks to Mizuka-san and exit the store. I can see Juno walking lonesomely towards school. After lightly jogging for a bit, I managed to catch up to her.
純ちゃんさ、ちょっと提案なんだけど。
何かな？
ロボクリニックの開かずの倉庫、行ってみようとか思わない？
Of course! Why would she not want to go there? Juna's eyes widen. Ah, Tweeps! I don't know why, it's just so fun all of a sudden. These are my favorite. The ones from this guy are my favorite. Hey everyone, work on the cosmetics of the robot you have after you have proved the performance and capability backed by the technology. If you are building a robot on looks that can't fight, you should be building a figure. What is demanded of a robot is performance. Looks come after. Remember that. Thank you, Mr. Pleiades. What are you hiding your secret? Prophecy book. A aeroge. A giant robot. Moving on from that. The robot clinic is deserted. That's pretty normal. But I still can't believe that this place used to be filled with the voices of children.
やっぱりやめようよ。
Juna is glancing all over the place, scared.
ジュン、ここは心を鬼にして、あえて突き進むべきだよ。
I hope everything goes well for her. I hope she gets the happiest ending, the best things. She gets over her trauma and emerges stronger for it. I want only the best for Juna. Akio tries her best to encourage her. After I told her what Mizuka-san told me, she got all fired up.
ドクを勇気づけるためには、ドクのロボたちを復活させるべきなんだよ。
I'm really not sure that's our only option here. But considering neither of us could come up with something better, why not give it a go? I'm looking for an excuse to get into the forbidden storage space anyway, so I piggyback off Akio's proposal.
急がなくちゃ手遅れになっちゃう。ジュンだってドクにはもっと長生きしてほしいでしょ。それはそうだけど、でも勝手に入るのはやっぱり。
勝手じゃないよ。
I spin a set of keys around my finger. Just because you have the keys doesn't make it not trespassing.
純ちゃんのお父さんがドクから正式に預かった鍵でしょ、これは。
Doc's loss of motivation is so bad that he asks his son-in-law to dispose of any unnecessary goods at the clinic. And so Akio and I convinced Juno to borrow the keys from her. Juno's a pushover, so that part was easy. Don't talk about her like that.
私はちょっと。
And I reiterate, just because you have the keys doesn't make it not trespassing. Juno was reluctant about Akio's proposal from the get-go.
無断でロボットさんたちを外に出すなんて。ドクに元気になってほしいの。うちの願いはそれだけ。 とりあえず倉庫の中がどうなってるか見るだけ見てみようよ。
Juna nonetheless shakes her head. She stands still, refusing to move forward.
私ここで待ってる。
She's scared to even go inside. And heck, she's even more pale than she was before. Her knees seem to be shaking too.
ジュン。
アキちゃん、行こ
Yeah, it's like deep-seated trauma like that doesn't go away overnight. Like sometimes you can't just power through it with force of will. I lead Akio into the shop. The forbidden storage space isn't accessible unless we circle around the scrapyard behind the store. We open the sliding door that was shut tight with a padlock and go inside. Since there are no windows, the dark space is pitch black. Stepping 1 foot inside is enough to make both of us cough up a storm. We must have woken up some dust. Makes you wonder how long the store has been shut for. It would be 11 years, right? I think we do know that much. It's entirely possible that it hasn't been open since Michi wandered in some 8 years. Oh, I guess that's true. 8 years
はい
ago.
見て。
Forgot about that. With the door now open, a beam of light shoots through the storage space, illuminating a series of robots lined up next to each other. They stand there in the dark, silently, without making a single move. I can't quite make out how many of them there are in the darkness, but Mizuka-san said there should be 9.
アキちゃん、
I count 4.
夜にここで
5.
このロボットたち見たらしょんべんちびるかも。
They're not like, maybe in the context of like a happy store with a bunch of friendly robots, they'd be less terrifying, but here, boy howdy, they are creepy as up. I can definitely see how this place was traumatizing for young Juna. Also the near-death experience. I feel like that was also a big one. Anyone would be scared. But Akio simply walks forward into the room, a sad expression on her face. She gently touches the arm of the red robot standing in the very front.
ほこり積もってる。全然手入れされてないみたい。
こいつら昔は動いたり喋ったりしたらしいけど、今でもちゃんと動くのかな。
動くはずだよ。動くって信じたい。だってドクはロボドクターなんだから。壊れたロボットを放置なんてしない。絶対に。
Despite her words, all signs seem to point to this place having been sealed for years. It should be clear to even an amateur that Doc hasn't touched this place or anything in it.
電源コードか何かないかな。電源につなげば動くかも。
Akio searches around the red robot's feet and back.
スイッチ的なものある？もしあるなら俺に押させてよ。
え？なんで？
Reasons?
いや、単にやってみたいだけ。
This red guy right here might be Gojiro after all.
ふーん。
Oh my god. When did you get there? You were over there last time I saw you. How did you do that?
何？
Even in this dark room, I can tell that Akio is grinning.
もしかしてカイってばこういうロボが好きだったんだ。結構子供っぽいんだね。
She's misunderstanding me again, but there's no point in trying to clear things up. Since there are no lights in here, we brought flashlights from the store and used them to find the robot's cord. It's plugged into the wall and all ready to go. The power switch is located inside a lid on the robot's back.
じゃあ押すよ。
オッケー。
I press the switch. The red robot doesn't move an inch.
壊れてる？
そんな。
Akio lowers her shoulders in disappointment.
ドク、ロボドクターなのに、どうして？
We tried to turn on the rest of the robots, but none of them moved. Just to be sure, I checked in with Irie and she confirmed that I hadn't activated the trigger yet. By the time we leave the robot clinic, the sun is long gone. One single tweep. Or I guess two, but all by the same people. Or person. 3. Like bang, shing. I like this. Shing and bang really show the prowess of your vocab. Which response? The one lightly throwing shade, you know? Obviously. Juno waited for us this late into the day. Not at the clinic, mind you, but at the hospital some 10 minutes walking distance from Doc's store. She bailed. She's waiting at the bus stop in front of the entrance, sitting alone on a bench there.
どうだった？
ダメ、ロボは壊れてた。
そうなんだ。悔しいな。
Akio looked up at the 3rd floor of the hospital where Doc is staying and begins ruffling her hair with her hands. At least she's ruffling her own hair this time. She then faces Juna and I, breathing heavily through her nose.
ねえ、うちに一つ提案があるんだけど。あのロボットたち、うちらで直してみない？
賛成。
うわ、カイがこんなに積極的だなんて今までなかったかも。
It is so funny, like, seeing her be surprised, but, like, because she doesn't know his ulterior motive. Like, from her perspective, it's incredibly out of character.
うちは嬉しいよ。
泣くことはないでしょ。
ジュンはどう思う？私は
修理するならジュンちゃんも参加すべきだね。ロボクリニックを出禁になってるアキちゃんとそのアキちゃんの単なる付き添いとしか思われてない俺じゃドクのロボを勝手にいじるのは問題ありそうだ。でもジュンちゃんっていう免罪符があればドクもそこまで目くじらは立てないはずだよ。
ジュンお願い、ドクを元気づけるためにチャレンジしてみたいの。もし勝手に直して怒られそうになったらジュンのことは全力でかばうから。困ったな。私無理だよ。
じゃあ勝負する？
Oh my god. Really?
俺が勝ったらジュンちゃんはアキちゃんの作戦に協力する。
That only works when people want something from you, Kai. You can't reverse that and just get whatever you want. That's not how that works.
ロボ部やめるってどういうこと？
ジュンちゃんロボ部やめたいらしいから。
ヤシオくん。
アキちゃんには黙ってて欲しかった。でもさ、ロボ部の部長はアキちゃんだからね。
Man, Kaito's ruthless.
ロボ部やめたいならアキちゃんに言わなきゃどうしようもないよ。
そうじゃなくて、急に言われると心の準備が。
She freaks out over the weirdest things, I swear. I know she's timid and all, but this hesitation of hers can be grating sometimes. But it's not my place to say anything. It was probably a mistake to talk her into joining the robot club in the first place.
ねえ、ジュン。
Akio approaches Juno with a serious expression on her face. Overwhelmed by Akio's vigor, she looks away.
ごめん。ジュンはこの2ヶ月ロボ部で過ごして少しでもロボットのこと好きになれた？
Akio tightly grasps Juna's hands. She continues to look straight at Juna. With nowhere to run, Juna is forced to face her straight on.
ロボットが苦手って言ってたけど、それは克服できた？それは。
Juna powerlessly shakes her head from side to side.
だったら、うちはジュンの大分を認めない。せめてロボットのどこか一つでも好きになってくれるまで絶対に離さないんだから。
What insane logic. She's completely ignoring Juna's feelings on the matter. You have no room to talk, Kai. But I guess it's easier that way, for now anyway.
じゃあ、一緒にドクのロボットを直そう。ね。これは 部長命令だよ。
Yeah, get in there and face head on the thing that almost killed you when you were a kid. The easily persuaded Juna stands no chance against Akio's one-sided pushiness. To hell with trauma. We have willpower. Since we decided to fix Doc's robots, we need to pick out which ones we're gonna brush up. And since they don't turn on, we can't figure out which one is Gojiro. Woke up, played 1 hour. Yeah, 10-0 in 1 hour. That's actually pretty good. Still not doing good enough. Oh. I think that nothing will change. Do we need to go if you can't? I can change. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on the YOLO. None of these are really good answers. That's the closest to how I actually feel about it. I will fix it. I have to or pick you up. Robots are friends. This is lazy. It's a secret. Considering Doc's condition, we don't have a lot of time. We can't fix all 9 of them.
修理するのは五次郎君だ。
Upon making my suggestion, Akio and Juna look at me, bewildered.
五次郎くんって
Yeah, how do you tell?
知らない。
知らないのに名前は知ってるの？
ああ、水香さんからちらっと聞いたんだよ。あの9体の中でも子供たちの人気ナンバー1は五次郎くんだったってね。
That's a total lie, of course. Although neither of them totally buy my explanation, they don't object. Which means they probably don't care which robots we fix. But the main problem is identifying Gojiro-kun. So we have Juna search for info regarding Doc's robots inside the shop. Akio and I take each robot out of storage to check whether there are any names written on them. Of the 9 robots, some have wheels for ease of movement, and some don't. The former are fairly easy to move around. So we inevitably begin by checking the wheeled units first.
ガイ、これ見て。
Akio calls for me while I look at a red robot that looks like it's sitting. Its pedestal has wheels on the bottom. There's a removable lid on the back where the wiring is stored. All of these wires have been cut, as if someone literally took a pair of scissors to them.
おかしいと思
Oh
った。
no.
このロボットたち壊れたんじゃないよ。
Yeah.
野ざらしで放置されてたならともかくね、倉庫に数年置いてあっただけで動かなくなるような繊細な機体には見えなかったもん。これ意図的に動かなくされたんだ。
ドク自身の手で殺されたロボットたちか。
殺されたなんてそんな言い方。
間違っちゃいないでしょ。
どうしてこんなことを。
さあね。
On the flip side, I've discovered a more important truth. I look at the lid I removed from the robot. On the back of it is a plate with a date of birth and the name of the robot. This red robot's name was Sakuro. Sakuro? I wonder what kanji characters you'd use for that. Well, who cares? Now I know how to identify these oldies. All I have to do now is figure out which one of the remaining 8 is Gojiro. Unfortunately, Gojiro is a yellow, stationary robot. His primary function is to press down stamps. We had to remove him as a candidate for fixing due to the lame reason that he'd be too difficult to carry outside. In its place, we chose... Yoshiro-kun. Ah yes, the most traumatic one. Since the nameplate only has its name written in Roman letters, I have no clue what his kanji are.
なかなか男前だよね。
今初めてアキちゃんの美的センスに疑問を持ったよ。
Yoshiro-kun has a blue body and he stands upright. Due to the wheels installed underneath his feet, everything below his ankles looks oddly large, including his shoes. He's about 2 meters tall. He has thick arms, but I'm pretty sure the only parts that move are his shoulder joints. Or it could be that his arms are just there for decoration, like our club's beloved Model 1. On his chest is a patrol light, a callback to the hero that can only fight for 3 minutes before vanishing. His facial design is similar to the other 8 robots, but each one has a slightly different expression. Yoshiro-kun wears a bright smile with a wide open mouth. His eyes are big and bulging, though his left eye's transparent cover is cracked. He has a protruding triangular nose, patrol lights for ears, and horns that look like antennae. In the center of his eyes are mini light bulbs with reflective mirrors, not unlike a flashlight. For his mouth, several LED lights are lined up inside a transparent plastic case. His ears are made of yellow patrol lights. Did they not just say that? Hold on. Patrol lights for ears. Okay. I feel like I'm going insane sometimes. So like, did they not just say that? The thing must be pretty colorful when it's all up and working. But I could see how it'd be pretty creepy if it lit up in the dark.
で、これ直せそう？
どうかな。
Akio peeks inside of Yoshiro-kun's back. There's a bunch of cords haphazardly jammed in there.
この子も他の子と同じようにコードが意図的に切られてる。他に致命的な故障は
Are those new?
見当たらなかったような。
Or did I already respond to those? Oh, no. Oh. Yeah. This is my favorite robot. Convero. Gunbomb multi.
あ、体がちょっとへこんでるのと目が割れてるのは多分転倒したせいだと思う。そんなわけでコードさえ交換すればまた動くようにはなると思うんだけど、ただコードはかなりの本数なんだ。全部ハンダ付けされてるから、それを新しいものに取り替えるだけでも結構骨が折れそう。
頑張ってね、アキちゃん。
Do it.
カイも手伝
Good
うよ。
luck.
あとジュン
Count
も
on
ね。
ya. Speaking of Juna, she somehow managed to vanish before either of us could realize it. We had her looking for any documents that would help us identify the robots' names, but she and her scooter are gone. Like, I am out. It must be really painful having to have to come here and have the most traumatic robot brought out for your viewing pleasure. Or is it more painful to see these robots? Either way, is it okay for her to leave the shop's keys with us?
そうだ。どうせなら遠隔操縦できるようにしよう。
おいおい、改良する気？さすがにそこまでやっちゃうとさ、ドクも許してくれないんじゃないの？
オプションメニューだよ。普段は自立行動できる。でもスイッチを切り替えれば遠隔操縦もできる。
簡単にできるわけ？
多分キルバラシステムとか導入するよりはよっぽど楽だよ。全身交代、ターン、あと手を動かすのと目や耳の点灯で喋る。それくらいならラジコンのプロポでできるし、プログラムも単純だからフラウボーの手を借りる必要もないはず。
アキちゃんが珍しく頼もしく見えるよ。
いやこれでもロボ部の部長なんだよ、うちは。種子島新さんを改良したのだってうちだし、それくらいの基本的なことはこの2年で先輩たちに教えてもらったんだから。これくらいの単純な機構ならうちだってやれるはず。
Oh boy.
ま、それは任せるよ。ちなみにさ、五次郎くんも直せたりしないかな？
五次郎くんを直すより自走式の、例えば秀三郎くんとかを直した方がいいよ。
It has to be Gojiro-kun.
カイ、なんでそんなに五次郎くんにこだわるの？
いや、それはほらあれだよ。五次郎くんがこの中じゃ一番かっこいいかと思ってね。
Crap, I'm gonna have to get him up and running all on my own. Here we go.
というわけで、
Oh, she's actually inside!
のハンダ付けを全部外して 新しいものに付け替える作業をしてもらいます。
Akio is holding Yoshiro-kun's circuit board in her hand. There are numerous wires soldered onto it. That's always been a weird word for me.
もちろん。
The next day. It is the next day. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Surprisingly. Care. She cares. And we care about her. It means so much to me that she get through this. Akio acts quickly. She went out of her way on a weekend to march into Kamada Motors in Nakatane-cho to buy new wires and miniature lights. She then came directly to the clinic to remove all the wiring. And now it's nearly sunset. Juna and I finally have something to do.
うちは新しく遠隔操縦のための回路を組み込むから。純の作業は重要だよ。吉郎くんの神経をつなぎ直すんだからね。で、回は電球の付け替え。それが終わったら純のサポートね。
You can do it! I believe in you! Juna hands me an electric desoldering pump. It looks like an electric drill, but the tip has an electric heating component. It uses a motor for suction. I guess you use this to melt the solder, and suck it out. Juna's not afraid of the circuit board, just the robot it came from. She apparently handles chores around the house, so she's good with her hands. She has no issue repeating the process.
今日一日で仕上げなくてもいいからね。
Despite Akio's words, Juna quietly and indifferently continues her work. Since early in the morning, the three of us have been engrossed in our tasks, taking advantage of the holiday. Having said that, I finished replacing all the lights yesterday. So what am I doing, you ask? I can't imagine what he's doing. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Believe it or not, my guess was Kill Ballad. But no, I've been sneakily trying to fix Gojiro-kun's power circuitry by watching and mimicking Akiho. But it's really frustrating trying to work in the dark. Juna finished before the late afternoon. Akio took the circuit board and installed it onto Yashiro-kun, but even after taking notes beforehand, Akio miswired the whole thing, and now it was just a giant mess. She lost track of what connected to where, and we ended the day with Akio in tears. Oh boy. I ride my scooter south down the highway. Driving on a wide road like this is a wee bit scary. Cars are zooming past me at high speeds, and I can't help but react and flinch every time one does, hoping I don't get hit. Akio-chan has me running an errand for her. Our plan to fix Grandpa Fujita's robots isn't going according to plan, but we're still making progress. Since yesterday, Akio-chan's been testing the wiring to see if it's all connected properly. I guess she's checking each wire to make sure they're working, unless using what's known as an electrical tester. I had already finished my job, so Akio-chan sent me on a new mission for the day. I'm buying a speaker. Since I'm terrified of robots and can't go anywhere near them, I'm grateful she gave me this task. Even now, my knees start shaking whenever I look at these robots. I'm ashamed of myself, but I can't move past my memories of that fateful day. I park my scooter in front of the robot clinic and take off my helmet. Akio-chan is waving at me from the storefront.
買ってきてくれた？その西の表のホームセンターまで行って。ごめんね、 遠出させちゃって。
I hand Akio-chan the speaker in question. I say speaker, but it's not the type you use to listen to music. It's called a unit part, apparently.
吉郎くんのスピーカーユニットね、取り外されちゃってて声が出なかったの。これを代わりに装着すれば喋るようになるよ。そうなんだ。
That doesn't instill me with much excitement, quite frankly. My memories of the incident reemerge, and I quickly shut my eyes.
ジュン？ヤシオくんは？裏の倉庫。小次郎くんを直してるみたい。なんでそんなに小次郎くんにこだわるんだろうね。さあ。ところでジュン、部長としてもう一つ頼みたいことがあるんだけどな。何かな。お使いなら言ってくるけど。お使いじゃなくて、吉郎くんを修理した後のこと。うちらが吉郎くんを修理してるのはドクに元気になってもらうため。そうでしょ。そのためには修理した吉郎くんをドクに見てもらわなくちゃ。遠隔操縦を導入したのもそのためで、そのオペレーターなんだけど。
They're pushing her so hard. Not they, mostly Akio, but still, just Akio-chan gazes into my eyes. It's always like this. Akio-chan is always facing forward. Her eyes are sparkling so much that it almost hurts to look. And so as to escape her brightness, I always look away.
逃げないで、ジュン。
She holds my hand tight. Akio-chan always does this. She constantly blocks my exit path. It's not fair. She corners me like this. She knows I can't say no. Even though I always tell myself that I have to say no. Conflicting feelings. What if I say no and she hates me or looks down on me? I get too scared and say anything. I never, ever have felt more sympathy or empathy.
オペレーターはジュンにやってほしい。
It's like she's speaking from my heart.
ロボが怖いのはわかるけど、この役目はきっとジュンしかできないし、ロボットのこと好きになってもらいたいの。無理だよ。
Shut my eyes tight and swat Akio-chan's hands off of mine. I'm panicking over what I just did. She's gonna hate me. She's gonna exclude me from the group. These thoughts prevent me from speaking a word. Akio-chan, on the other hand, looks surprised for a moment before she tearfully clings to me.
ジュン、お願い。
God.
無理なの。こればっかりは私できないよ。ごめん。私店の中にいるね。
I peel myself away from Akio-chan's grasp, then rush inside the shop. Deep breaths. My heart is still racing. I managed to say no. I usually get caught up in her pace, but not this time. I feel like I've grown a little. But that's just a lie. Oh. Damn it. I'm still running away. The shop is completely silent. My ears begin to ring. I feel like I'll hear Grandpa Vegeta yelling at any moment. I stand still and cover my ears.
はあ、めんどくさい。
Respect. Rude. Respect. Yeah. Repairing Gojiro-kun proves to be more difficult than I anticipated. While getting advice from Akio, I'm trying to make the bare minimum repairs necessary to get him running again. Yeah, he literally just has to turn him on. That's the only functionality he needs. but it ends up taking me days just to figure out which wire is for the power. Working in this dark room is hardly making things easier. To add insult to injury, Gojiro-kun has no wheels, so I can't easily get him outside. I'll just have to manage on my own. Oh, hello. Irie's been cheering for me since I started doing work here. I wish I could be as easygoing as she is. But no, here I am, suffering over a stupid trigger. Regardless, all that's left is to solder one last wire under the motor. And if the motor itself is busted, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, eh? I continue working, using my flashlight as my singular source of light. And at last, the soldering job is complete. When did I get so sweaty? It's actually pretty nice outside these days. The storage room is stuffy as hell.
よし、できた。
完成ですか？すごいです。
まったく。
God, I've wasted so much. Oh, that's. I'd be playing Kill Ballad if it weren't for this trigger. Anyhow, that should do the trick. It might not move perfectly, but it should at least power on.
電源コードはどこだ?
I searched the floor with my hands.
アイリはわからないです。
Yeah, she can't see stuff.
期待してないよ。
It's not long before I find the cable in question. I pull it and insert it into a power strip. I switch Gojiro-kun on with bated breath. But it doesn't move a muscle. Ugh.
あれ? おかしいな。
I turn the power switch on and off, disconnect and reconnect the power cable a couple of times.
なんでだ? これでいけるはずなんだけど。
At this point, I have no idea what the issue is. I'm not skilled enough to be able to troubleshoot this sort of problem. If this last-ditch effort doesn't work, I'll just have to come back another day. I decided to take a look at the power strip connection itself. Hopeful. The strip in question came from the robot clinic and has an extension cable about 3 meters long. I was hoping that maybe the main power cable was just unplugged or something. I stand up and start walking with the flashlight in my hand. I catch my foot on another robot. This causes me to fall over dramatically. Dust goes flying all over the place, causing me to cough up a storm. I then look up and find one of Doc's robots about to topple on me. Oh no. I'd rather avoid becoming a victim today, thanks. My body reacts fast, and I manage to raise myself up and catch the robot before it topples over. It's heavy, but not so heavy I can't hold it up. I clench my teeth as I return it to its standing position.
焦った。
大丈夫ですか?
Yeah, imagine if it actually fell on you and you were too much, like too little to push it back up.
いや、いいよ。
I crouch down in place to collect my breath and find something on the floor. I pick it up. It's covered in dust. It's a picture frame. There's very clearly a photo inside of it. Oh, is this gonna make me cry? Don't make me cry, game. Don't do it. Did Doc drop it in here? I blow the dust away and wipe the surface so I can get a better look at the picture. Don't make me cry. You're gonna make me cry. You did it. Good job. Thank you. I'm scared. That's when I hear an odd voice coming from outside. A very robotic, monotone voice. Oh my god, smiling Doc is just... He's so happy. Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it. Did Akio finish Yoshiro-kun's repairs? I head out of the storage room, photo in hand. That's incredibly upsetting to listen to.
アキちゃん。
I hope they don't do more of that. Akio is standing in front of the blue robot, wiping sweat off her forehead in satisfaction.
カイ、どう？スピー カー交換したらちゃんと喋ったよ。
Hey. Its eyes, mouth, ears, and chest lights shine brightly, while its thick arms swing up and down at regular intervals. I hate that a lot.
おお、喋ってる喋ってる。でもちゃんとじゃないよね。
ちょっと接触悪いのかな。後で調整する。それより見てよ、この吉郎くんの素晴らしさ。腕の機構もちゃんと生きてたんだよ。すごいんだからこれ。歯車で腕を動かしてるの、まるでからくり人形みたい。
Hate
なかな
that.
か愛嬌あるけど動きはあんまり面白くないね。
All he does is swing his arms up and down and say a couple words.
でもきっと子供たちにとっては最高のお友達に。あれ、ジュン？
I follow Akio's gaze to find Juna standing in the distance, a shocked expression on her face. It's almost like we've reopened old wounds. Something's wrong. She's staring at Yoshiro-kun, trembling. What did she say? Yoshiro-kun continues to speak with his distorted voice. Juna's expression darkens and she curls up into a ball. She starts shaking her head violently.
あの時、私を押したの、そいつ。
アキちゃん、とりあえずこのロボ喋るの止めて。
ちょっと待って。
Akio tries to open the back lid in a hurry, but because she's panicking, she can't quite get it open. I hate that. Juna uncharacteristically yells. I'm... Stop. No, it's more like a scream.
ジュンちゃん、落ち着いて。アキちゃん、早く止めてってば。
わかってるよ。
Finally, Akio manages to turn him off. Yoshiro-kun's lights vanish. But by then, Juna is already dashing towards the highway. All we can do is watch her run. Even if we tried to catch her, we'd run the risk of getting an attack. We'd have no chance against a real athlete. I sigh and glance down at the picture frame I picked up inside the storage room. It's an old photo of Juna, Doc, and Yashiro-kun lovingly standing next to each other. The next day.
かい。
Oh man, I'm legit tearing up. This is awful. Oh my god. After school, Akio comes stumbling over to my desk.
ジュンがいよいよ突きつけてきたよ。
Yeah.
何を？
退部届。
You can submit those online, but apparently she went out of the way to write it on actual paper. This is her way of being very clear about her intentions. Very Juna-like, if you ask me.
ほら、昨日のことがあったからね。今日は朝から何度もジュンの教室まで行ったんだけど、もうロボ部やめるとしか言わなくて。しかもね、昼休みなんか三井さんと山本さんがガードしてきて、ジュンとはまともに話せなかったし。
三井と山本って誰？
ジュンの友達。
Ah, that one tough-looking girl in the hothead.
もしかして退部届はあの二人の入れ知恵かな。どうしようかい。退部届はね、受け取らずになんとか逃げてきたんだけど、このままじゃ
I don't think that's
ジュ
how
ン
that
にロボを
works.
好きになってもらうどころか、余計嫌いになってロボ部をやめてっちゃうことに。
I lightly tapped the depressed Akio's shoulder.
アキちゃん、俺さ、
何？
今日ちょっと用事あるんで、ロボクリニックには後から行くわ。
何それ？用事って？
しよ
ジュンのところに説得に行ってくれないの？
う。昨日の今日だし、しばらく様子見た方がいい。いい格言を教えてあげるよ。押してダメなら引いてみろってね。
I believe that it says that on the door at the 7-Eleven across the street.
それ恋愛の格言か何か
I
じ
don't
ゃ
know
な
if it's
かった？
proverb. I flash her a smile and silently exit the classroom. Akio continues to whine behind me, but I ignore her as usual.
さてと。
I lean against my scooter and whip out my phone droid. That personal business of mine is this: locating Kimijima report number 4. After Juno left yesterday, I kept making adjustments to Gojiro-kun until I got him working. I only managed to get his lights to turn on. Poor Sap couldn't stamp a thing. But that was enough to activate the trigger according to Irie. I finally managed to activate all of report number 4 triggers, which means its AR annotation should be visible somewhere. It's taken me a whole month to get to this point. I've been through a lot. Now I just gotta find the damn thing.
アイリちゃん。
I wait until the students nearby leave, then summon Irie. A moment later, I cheerfully responds. I immediately tap her forehead to summon Kitsune. Don't even say hi to her, just... Give me the other one.
確認しました。ゲシネーモードに移行します。
君島レポートナンバー4はどこにあるか予測はつく？
フラグから判断するのが近道かと思われます。ナンバー4のフラグのうち、位置が特定できそうなものは以下の3つです。フラグその2、種子島の4カ所のおすすめポイントから撮影したロケットの打ち上げ写真をイルオにアップロードする。おすすめポイントの4カ所は以下の通りでした。長谷展望公園、宇宙が丘公園、七色坂観望台、竹崎展望台。フラグその3、ロボクリニックに保管されている五次郎くんを起動する。ロボクリニックは中種町と南種町の境、長谷の交差点付近にあります。フラグその4、ジオタグを付与した火縄銃を1発以上試射する。種子島には火縄銃に関する記念碑や歴史的な遺物を展示する場所が複数存在します。
全部回ろうと思うとかなり分散してるから時間がかかる。いくつか場所を絞り込みたい。
以上の条件から絞り込むとすれば、ロボクリニック、長谷展望公園、宇宙が丘公園、門倉岬、種子島宇宙センター、そのあたりが妥当かと思われます。
With that done, I can just heat each place up one by one.
じゃあ、行くとしますか。
I really hope I can find the AR annotation at one of these spots. I guess I'll use the little map to pick out potential spots. I guess I'll do that. Hello? I am here. Oh. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, I can't... Hello? Can I pause? Oh, I want to save the game. Okay, I guess I have to go to a place. We'll start at the robot clinic. It's the robot clinic. Could it be here? Point it out, kid. Oh no, they're not gonna do that. Akio's here messing around with Yoshiro-kun's wiring. Oh, I thought it was just gonna be... Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have come here. Oops. Oh, yeah. Could it be here? Alright. No, I'm gonna look for it on my next go, because I'm tired. And once I find it, it's gonna throw me into conspiracy theory central. And but I'm good for now. I'm ready for next time though. Bye. Still don't know how to end these.